Evandro and Pedro Solberg, this is only their third FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour tournament together. It's very much an experiment, work in progress. Dane, tell us more. Two blockers forming a team for Brazil.
Yeah, you don't see two blockers very often, but that is exactly what Pedro and Evandro are. You'll see the 6'11", 211-centimeter Evandro in the backcourt playing defense.
Here we go. It is Evandro who puts the ball into play in the first of two semi-finals here. And at the net, very impressive, is Pedro Solberg, or Pedro Salgado, whichever name you want to call him. He's going to be a hot player to watch today.
Big block right here. This ball, I'm not sure if it even clears the net, but the intimidation factor of the two blockers on Brazil is going to cause all sorts of problems for Poland.
Perfect service start for Evandro. Another very powerful serve right down to the feet of Prudel. And Prudel puts that away to side out for Poland. They'll take their first service of this men's semi-final. Scores at 1-1.
Good little poke shot. Shallow in the court where Evandro is deep and he cannot get there.
Fijalek with a service for Poland. He too wants to show the Brazilians that he's got a big, powerful jump serve. Great shot from Pedro Solberg.
So the difference with Pedro and Evandro, they'll switch off blocking assignments as Pedro hits that ball down the line. When Pedro serves, he'll stay in the backcourt and play defense. When Evandro serves, he'll stay in the backcourt and play defense. But for the Polish duo, Prudel will be at the net full time.
Oh, but there is the tallest man at 6'11", and the first block from Evandro.
Really solid form. Look at him wait and then jump into the angle, pressing over the net.
You used the word right at the beginning of play, Dane. He's intimidating Evandro. Here's Pedro Solberg with service again. Prudel sets for Fijalek, and the Poles side out immediately. They don't want to let the Brazilians run away too soon, too quick. Brazil with the advantage at 3-2. Evandro goes to the back of court, but it is Evandro-Prudel, the Polish #1 with service, just 29 years of age. Here's the set for Pedro Solberg. Second time, now it's Evandro. High, powerful cross-court spike. Great dig from Fijalek, but on the second time of asking, Evandro pumps that one away.
I like the Brazilians' patience right there. The ball comes over. Instead of Evandro jumping and hitting, he uses all three contact. They're very composed, very patient at the moment.
Now, let's not forget that Evandro and Pedro Salgado or Solberg have taken a silver medal in the Grand Slam in Moscow already this season. Good little tip ball from Prudel. Oh, and the first time, a little bit of confusion between the two Brazilians, just hesitating which one was going to go forward for the ball. They lose the point to the Poles.
Yeah, maybe a little confusion, but a beautiful touch block. Then they have to decide who's going to play that. That's Evandro's job to call Pedro off and to take that ball.
Gregor's Fijalek with service for Poland. Well left. Serve looked to be just a little long, 5-3. 2 points clear now, the Brazilians, with Pedro Solberg taking service.
That's what I like to see from the Poland team. They're going to have to put a lot of pressure on Brazil, and they have to take some risks from that back service line.
Oh, a beautiful tip ball from Evandro-Prudel in the dark hat and wearing #1 for Poland.
Prudel getting up, that's that poke shot down the line, out of reach for the extended Pedro.
Prudel with service. Oh, very nice and handy time to put down an ace there for Maruz.
Yeah, not a lot of power on that hit, but he hits it cross court. He takes a little bit off of it, and Evandro's unable to reach.
Leveling the scores at 5 apiece. This time, drop serve, Evandro. Oh, powers his way through the block of Prudel there.
It's going to be a tall order for the Polish team to be effective at the net blocking, especially with the bigger Evandro. Remember, Prudel, the full-time blocker, is only 191 centimeters at 6'3". That is very small for a full-time blocker, especially out here on the World Tour.
Evandro from right at the back of the court to give himself as much room as he can for that giant jump serve. Fantastic ace from the Brazilian to go 2 points clear.
That's one of his favorite serves. He starts on the right side of the court and he finishes right down the line.
Here's a good set for Prudel. Oh, and again, this time it's the second blocker from Brazil that shuts out Poland, Pedro Solberg.
Right now, Brazil owning the net. Look at Pedro's timing. He gets up so nicely, presses over the net, and seals that line. You know when those players like to go down the alley between the arm and the antenna? Pedro's so good at sealing that up, so that option is not open.
Looking for his third successive point here from service, Evandro. Oh, unlucky. Good point for the Polish team. Good shot from Fijalek.
Yeah, he's really moving it around well. Fijalek has great range, great motion right there. Prudel spinning it to the corner, gets good angle on it, and then Evandro out of reach.
Julian Brazil, the French referee, David Prati of Italy, the second referee in this first semi-final. Prudel, Fijalek, I should say, with service. Now, here comes Evandro, setting for Pedro Solberg. Great shot. Back in the rhythm here, the Brazilians maintaining their three-point advantage.
Yeah, what I really like about Pedro is the fact that he's so aggressive, and in transition, he doesn't usually shoot the ball. He brings all sorts of power. He's going to test you on the other side of the net, and he's going to make you pay more often than not.
It is Pedro Solberg Salgado with service. Prudel sets for feet. Oh! They're on a rout here, the Brazilians. 4 clear, 10-6.
Well, you know why they are 4 clear? It's exactly because of this, what we talked about. Could the Polish team deal with the blocking schemes of Brazil? Brazil now with 4 total blocks, 2 for Evandro and 2 for Pedro.
And it is Pedro Solberg. Oh, a timeout has been called.
Timeout called by the Polish team. Very important that they call a timeout. A lot of momentum starting to come on the Brazilian side of the net. Look at the runs of points. We see early on they had a couple, then 3 in a row, then 2 in a row. You cannot allow a great Brazilian team to get runs of points because they will start to put you in a hole. Great communication right there between the two. Remember, players do not have a coach in their box. They have to make their own decisions, they have to call their own timeouts, and they have to strategize together. So it's very important that they communicate. When you see 2 players bickering or going at one another, it can make it very difficult. Chemistry is a big part of this, and obviously Pedro and Evandro have great chemistry, never finishing out of the top 5, finishing second in the Grand Slam in Moscow. And so right out of the gate, the 3rd tournament ever, they're gonna finish in the top 4. That's guaranteed. This team's for real.
Good words, Dane. 10-6. Now has the timeout paid dividends for Poland. Prudel on the attack. Oh, and it does work out. That little break in momentum gives the Polish team the side out.
If you're Poland, that's exactly what you want out of a timeout. Prudel comes in nicely, goes high off the block of Evandro. Note that Prudel getting the majority of the serves from the Brazilians. They want to test the taller Prudel.
Oh, great shot down the alley from Pedro Solberg.
He's just so deceptive when he goes up. You don't know if he's going to crush the ball cross court. You don't know if he's going to go high off your hands or down the line.
Evandro with service for Brazil. They're 4 clear of Poland in the first set here in the first semi-final of the day. That's a little too powerful and a little too much topspin on that ball. It's an important point for Poland.
Yeah, the thing with Evandro, he's got such a tough serve, but he struggled with consistency, keeping it in the court.
Grzegorz Fijalek with service for Poland. And he wants to show the Brazilians he's got a powerful jump serve as well. Here's Evandro at the net. And again, he outpowers Prudel, unable to hold on to that shot with his block.
Yeah, what I want to note is the passing ability of Evandro. He passes so well for a guy who's 211 centimeters. Then he has that athletic ability to get up and put the ball away.
Float serve from the Brazilian. Oh, it's a good dig. Evandro keeps the ball up, and Pedro Solberg almost finishes it off. Fijalek this time gets a point down.
Well, you get to see right now why they don't go to the shorter Fijalek, because he's got a range of shots. He is very deceptive. They would rather not deal with a guy who's got these types of shots. They'd rather deal with a more powerful Prudel and try to take away that power with their strong block.
Technical timeout when the total scores of the two sides reach 21. And good communication, the Polish duo trying to keep their spirits high. But you have to say, it's the Brazilians that have looked by far the better of the two. More dynamic, more explosive, more confident in the opening exchanges of the first set day.
Well, as I said, in the quarterfinal, they were tested to the limit from the Netherlands, the team of Badenhorst and Numador, who absolutely destroyed Brazil 21-14 in the first set, and then Brazil turned everything around, crushed them 21-11 in the second, and then went on to win in the third. And I believe that was a big test for Brazil to pass. Now they're playing with confidence. They know that they can turn it around at any time, and they're putting way too much pressure right now on Poland.
Evandro-Pedro with service for Poland. Oh, and that is well left. Perfectly read by Pedro Solberg.
Yeah, a few missed serves right now by Poland, and I don't mind it. I really want them to try to put pressure on Brazil, because if Brazil passes the ball, sets the ball, more than likely they're putting it away almost every time.
Evandro, big jump serve. Here's Prudel attacking at the net. That's a great shot. Both the Brazilians left in their tracks there, just watching the ball go by. Not a lot of movement from Brazil. Good play from Poland. As you said, Dane, they must not let themselves get intimidated by the Brazilians, particularly at the net. Now it's Fijalek with service. Evandro sets up for Pedro Solberg. Oh, great reaction shots from both. Did the ball touch the floor? Yes. The ball was on the sand. Oh, one-touch reactions from both sides there.
Unfortunate for the Polish duo. Prudel up big on the block. It looks like he's going to have a stuff block, but the Brazilians cover themselves and get the ball down. So important to cover your offensive attacker.
Good save from Pedro Solberg. Prudel goes again, same route, but a very soft tip-cut shot from the Polish player.
It's difficult right now for Prudel. That is a crisp, textbook cut shot. It's perfect. If he airs it all, the Brazilians will gobble it up. The Brazilians in a great defensive set. That's why it's causing so many problems for Prudel.
Oh, he nearly put that one right between the two of the Brazilian players. Split-second reactions from Pedro Solberg, keeps the ball up. Again, it's a tip shot. Oh, good reactions from Evandro, who finishes it off. No! This is amazing, the rally. Both sides look to have given it away. Both sides save it, but it is Pedro Solberg who finally gets the point. Rally of the match so far to take Brazil 4 clear at 15-11.
Just when you think Poland is going to score a point, the Brazilians just take it away. A magnificent rally, all four players going for it, but in the end, the Brazilians put it down. You're seeing it's very difficult for Poland to score points right now because of the defensive set of Brazil.
Big serve from Evandro. Fijalek now attacking for Poland. Oh, that's a double touch.
Double touch right there, double contact. You have to set that ball very cleanly. If you take it overhand, it's got to come out with no spin on it. If the referee believes you double contact it and don't connect simultaneously with the ball, he can call a double contact, which is exactly what gets called on Prudel right now. So another point for Brazil. Now they go 5 clear.
Evandro continues with this impressive service run. Oh, straight into the net. Almost going over. Important point for Poland there. Side switch. Poland will serve, but they're trailing by 4.
One thing to watch, and you should notice, is that the Polish duo love to set the ball overhand with their hands. Note that the Brazilians are bump setting underhand every time, and you do that because therefore you take out the double contact call. You'll never be called on a double contact if you're using that underhand move. So a smart play, a strategic play. I used to set the ball underhand quite a bit because I wasn't the greatest overhand setter, and I did not want to risk giving away points with a double contact.
Brazil are now 5 clear. Pedro Solberg puts the serve through. Oh, almost saves that one, but again, it's the cut shot that is becoming the most effective weapon for Poland here up at the net against Brazil.
Notice the back set this time for this Polish duo. Instead of setting forward, Fijalek puts it back for Prudel. They try to move the blocker laterally to get him out of position.
Prudel with service. Here's Evandro now attacking at the net, right down the middle of the 2 players. And it was so fast, so powerful, neither knew which way to go.
Yeah, you know what, if I was Poland, I would not know who to serve because both these players, Pedro and Evandro, are such offensive forces and they're so good at putting the ball to the sand.
That's a good set, I should say, from Fijalek to give Prudel the opportunity to put that away.
And look at the fake block by Pedro. He drops at the net, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do as an offensive player. Hit the ball at the retreating blocker.
Fijalek it is with service for Poland. Here's Pedro Solberg. Oh, look at that, off the net.
Did you see that? He broke out his left hand. Pedro Salgado's a right-hand player, but he goes up, hits it with his left hand, a cut shot, just showing how athletic and versatile he is.
Ambidextrous skills from the Brazilian, and this is to give them set point. Prudel. Oh, that's too soft.
And Pedro not happy about it. He's letting Evandro know, you better set me closer to the net when you have an opportunity like that. Here's the pass, and then the set. It's about 8 feet off the net. Pedro tries to get a little too cute with it. Doesn't clear the net. Point for Poland. Can Poland make a push right now?
They certainly need to. If Brazil side out here, Poland are in trouble with this first set. And that's too close to the net this time. Oh.
I would call a timeout if I was Brazil right now. They haven't burned one. They're up by 3. They've run into a little bit of trouble right here. Another set that's just too close to the net. Prudel taking full advantage with a poke shot. Ah, there they go.
Well called, Jane. It's It's as if they can hear you down there, but they need to just regain their composure. Better communication. 2 shots missed there. 1 too far away from the net from Evandro. The set 1 too close. Salgado giving the youngster at 24 years of age, Evandro, on the right of your screens, a little piece of his mind, a little bit of a ticking off. What he now needs to do is remotivate his teammates and get back into that rhythm that they had at the beginning of this set, Dave.
Yeah, the pressure's high for Evandro. He is the big player and the powerful player at the net, but he's 24 years old. Pedro's been out here longer. Pedro has won 14 different FIVB events with 4 different partners. Pedro has a very high standard, and so he puts some pressure on his teammate, and it goes to show you how difficult it is to set the ball in the right position. Too close, the blocker eats it up. Too far off, your attacker doesn't have a good arsenal of shots, so it has to be in the perfect spot to be successful.
So here is Evandro-Pedro with service. Poland trying to stay in this first set, trailing the Brazilians by 3. It's the first team to 21. And it is now set point for Brazil. You need to win by 2 clear points. And I don't think they're going to let this one slip now. That timeout doing exactly what the doctor ordered for the Brazilians, regaining their composure. A little disruptive to the flow of the game for Poland. And this service with Evandro to wrap up the first set. Fijalek high at the net. Great shot.
Just in, very close shot, taking a risk. Fijalek not getting very many opportunities. I see that one in about 3 feet into the court, so beautiful shot by Fijalek.
Second set point for Brazilians. Fijalek with service. Oh, and it's an ace! Now the pressure is on Brazil.
What a great ace. Cross court, catching Pedro off guard. Can they do it again?
Third set point for the Brazilians. He certainly goes for it this time. Oh, great play again from the Polish team. Here's the set for Evandro. And it's too long! No, it's good. The ball is good. 21-80. Just touched the fingertips of Prudel at the net, putting the ball out. The touch. Here it is in slow motion, Dane.
A bailout for Evandro, because that ball was going to go out of bounds. But micro touch, I'll call it. I couldn't see it up here, so great call by the line judges to see that touch on the way out. Wow, Poland really had a push at the end of that set, and it got a bit scary for the Brazilians, but they strategized correctly. They called the timeout, got the point when they needed it, stayed in control, and more importantly, Nick, you see how composed the Brazilians are. They never panicked right there. They just did their thing, took care of business, and now they're leading 1-0. Just 1 set away from advancing to the gold medal final.
Well, I have to say I'm very impressed with Evandro and Pedro Solberg. Wanting to be called Pedro Solberg in this semi-final. It was Salgado in the quarterfinal. I think he's just trying to connect with his Norwegian roots here. Maybe gain a little bit of extra support from the fans. But I think no matter what the outcome, the Norwegians have enjoyed the quality of play here at this Swatch Beach Volleyball Major Series. Second stop in Stavanger City, Norway. The third stop, of course, in Gstaad in Switzerland in July, before the fourth at the FIVB World Tour Finals in Fort Lauderdale in September. Here we go with set 2.
Remember, in that first set, Brazil had 4 blocks to Poland's 0, that being a big difference. Poland with 2 aces, Brazil with 1. So blocking at the net has been the difference so far.
Oh, great work at the net from Pedro Solberg. Touch of the net. Let's hope that's not an injury to Prudel. It's been a little bit of discomfort.
Yeah, anytime the ball's close like that, it's almost better off that you don't go and attack it, but remember, there's so much on the line. Here's the set. It's a little too tight. Evandro with the momentum going forward, going into the net, and then coming underneath Prudel. That can be very dangerous and can injure a player for an entire season, so it's better off not going for it. But like I said, so much on the line here. Everyone trying to win a championship.
And the service is good. Overruled by the referee. No, it's given to Brazil. 1-0.
Yeah, just out of bounds, just long. Pedro Solberg gonna opt to just float the serve in to Prudel.
Oh, and that's the first big spike we've seen from Prudel. Marusz Prudel, 29-year-old from Rybnik. That's the first power play we've seen from Prudel, quite possibly all match long. That will boost the Poles' confidence.
Really was a strong hit, his strongest hit we've seen. He's got to pace himself because he is getting a lot of serves.
Oh, a lapse in concentration from Prudel. Floats that ball way too far out of the court. 2-2. Evandro with service. Just 24 years of age from Rio de Janeiro. The youngest man, but the tallest man on court at 6 feet 11 or 2 meters 11 centimeters. Oh, waiting patiently for it off the net. Evandro unable to finish it. Now Evandro's at the net. Just caught out of position, the Brazilians. Important point, remember, Poland must win this second set to stay in the match.
Well, this is what Poland has to do. They have to win these broken plays. They lost almost every one of them in the first set, but right there, Evandro kind of steals that ball from Pedro, who could have played it easily.
Fijalek with a service. Pedro Solberg looking for the gap. Well spotted by Fijalek. Fijalek goes cross court. Good defensive play from Evandro. Good block from Prudel, but not quite getting the direction that he wanted.
Prudel's in the right spot every time, but he's just not been able to execute a block because the Brazilian duo really hit the ball at a very high trajectory. It's difficult to block that ball straight down. Remember, Prudel only 6'3".
Fijalek. Oh, what a beautiful shot. Didn't quite come off, fell his side of the court.
You notice Fijalek has a lot more range, a lot more finesse shots. That's why Brazil doesn't serve him that often. They keep opting to go to Prudel, and Poland has to watch out here that Brazil doesn't get on a run. Oh, that ball, double contact. Once again, so that's the second time that the Polish duo has been called for a double contact, giving the Brazilians another point.
Brazil now 2 clear. Prudel sets for Fijalek. And he's there at the net, overpowering once again. Evandro. Great work from the Brazilians, scoring 3 points clear, and understandably so. Team Poland call a timeout to try and stop the rhythm, stop the momentum, because 4 points in succession for Brazil already puts them in a commanding position in this second set. Don't forget, they've already taken the first, 21-18.
Yeah, beginning this Sunday, matchups of the semifinals, I believe that the Brazilian duo, they really have an edge on the competition. They've just been playing at a really high level. The way that they were tested in the quarterfinals, they would be my front runner and the favorite to win this, even though the Poland team is number 2 in terms of seeding, and Brazil is number 7. That seed for Brazil is only going to get better as they have more finishes. The reason it is 7 is because they've only played 3 times.
Beautiful shot of the Caribbean Princess, one of the many cruise ships that comes in and out of Stavanger Harbour. That's got to be the best seat in the house, right up on the top deck there, looking down on centre court. I suppose it's an expensive ticket, but it's one that they haven't purchased for our grandstand.
Well, you're not going to see a block on that stat, but the block is what caused that ball to go out of bounds. Prudel trying to avoid the 211-centimeter Evandro, who is an absolute wall up at the net. causing all sorts of problems for Poland.
Timeout hasn't worked. Still winning his serve here. Now that's the kind of shot that Prudel needs. And you can see Evandro just a little angry with Pedro Solberg there, not covering the court at the back. But it's a very, very important score for Poland. 4-7. Prudel serves. Evandro sets for Salgado. Cross-court spike. Good dig from Fijalek. Looks to finish it now. Taking their time here, the Brazilians. Fijalek up against. Oh, Evandro's there, as is Solberg. Evandro, little tip ball. Fijalek now on the attack for Poland. Oh, switch of hands, and that's all that's needed in between the two Brazilian players. And now they're just trailing by 2, Poland. Good work.
We saw the left hand from Pedro. Now we see the left hand from Fijalek coming in and causing all sorts of problems for Evandro, who looked a bit confused on which direction that ball would go. But a great rally. Both squads having some trouble putting that ball to the sand.
Prudel again with service. Evandro sets the ball for Pedro Solberg. And that's gone underneath the net. Brazil maintain their 3-point advantage. 8-5 now for the boys in green.
Look like Fijalek is all over this defensively. Gets the ball up, it hits the net, and then Prudel unable to play it up. So anytime it looks like Poland's going to make a defensive play, everything just a little bit off, and they're not able to execute.
Just need a little bit of luck, Dane. Here's Evandro with service. Another great defensive shot or play, and a very good shot indeed from Fijalek. Cuts the ball, seeing that both the Brazilians are in the mid part of the court.
Really nice shot. There's not a lot of space on that court to get a kill if you're Poland, because Brazil's defensive set is so tight and so technically sound, but Fijalek with a perfect shot.
Side switch at every 7 points, 14 on the board. Still Fijalek with service. And that serve is a little too long. The 3-point advantage is now back with the Brazilians.
Another ball out of bounds for Poland, so they're taking some risks, but they're not getting any aces and a lot of service errors.
Pedro Solberg puts the ball into play. Fijalek now on the attack. Oh, and he gets that one right down the alley. That's a good shot. That'll help his confidence a little. Poland narrow the gap to 2. Better shot for Fijalek.
It's very interesting. The Brazilians were having so much success going to Prudel, but even having the success, they decide to switch it up, and now Fijalek is getting a lot of the serves. It's an interesting technique, a game plan that's working.
Oh, Prudel gets his block. And Fijalek getting his confidence up, as is Prudel now.
Yeah, I can't call this a block because he hits the ball basically in the bottom of the net.
Oh,
yeah, but we'll give him a block. Why not?
yeah. Well, for the first time, he's putting the heat on Evandro, that's for sure. Here's Evandro again. Second time lucky. And this time he puts it away.
Number 11.
So intimidating. Such a tall, powerful player. Tallest man, as we've said many times. 6 feet 11. A giant of a man, but a wonderful athlete. Very quick on his feet. Lightning reactions. Here's Evandro with service again. Oh, Prudel catches Pedro Solberg out of position.
Solberg trying to drop block. Whenever the set isn't in a great position as a blocker, you want to drop off the net and try to play defense. But on your way to get to that defensive position, sometimes you get caught off guard. The camera almost hit the toss of Fijalek right there. He caught the ball and gave the ref a bad look, and obviously it broke his concentration a little bit. But the Poland has now missed 5 serves here in this second set, and those are just 5 free points. Think about it. Brazil has 11. 5 of them have come from missed serves.
Solberg puts the ball into play. Prudel's on the attack. Good cut shot from Evandro-Pedro. 21 points on the board total. Technical timeout.
Really love that cut shot right there by Prudel. He's played well, he's played consistent and very composed, knowing that he has Evandro in his face and Pedro looming in the backcourt. Poland playing composed and hanging right in there. You see in the middle of the match all those runs of points, 5 in a row for Brazil. That's what great teams do. Brazil putting on the pressure right there, giving a little separation as they take a lead, but Poland has fought back and they didn't panic in that situation. They fought right back and they're down by 1. I think a great position to strike right now for Poland.
Well, you have to admire the style of play from Evandro-Pedro Solberg Salgado. They're playing in their 3rd FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour tournament together as a team. No question, with other partners, they have excelled in our sport. They've excelled on the World Tour. But the coaches and the players themselves have gone for this experiment of putting 2 blockers together. They're learning as they go along. It makes for real exciting beach volleyball. Do the Poles have the answer to this Brazilian experiment? Prudel puts the ball into the net. That's a disappointing start for Poland after the technical timeout.
Yeah, I think Brazil is starting to adapt this project, as they call it, or experiment, having 2 blockers together. We say it's an experiment because most teams have a full-time blocker and a full-time defender. It's rare that you see 2 blockers playing together.
Oh, good shot from Fijalek. Fijalek will be happy with that.
You know what, most blockers want to be great defenders and have that opportunity, and most defenders want to be great blockers, so it's a great opportunity for both of them to become more well-rounded in their games, and I think their defense is getting better each and every match they play.
Oh, a little poke ball from Fijalek. Levels the scores for the first time in this set. Great play from Fijalek.
Good shot. Evandro standing a bit upright, unable to get a lower center of gravity and take off to dig that ball. Wasn't a difficult shot to run down, but Evandro out of position.
That's way too long, way too much power on the ball from Fijalek.
Let's call that service error number 6 here in set number 2, and 0 aces for Poland. So the ratio way out of whack. You know, I always say if you have 4 errors and 2 aces, that's fine, a 1-to-2 ratio, but no aces right now for Poland.
Oh, this time Evandro blocks out Fijalek.
Make it block number 5 on the match for the Brazilians. Block number 3 for Evandro. First one in the 2nd set, so Poland maybe starting to slow down.
Oh, unable to hold on to that one, Pedro Solberg. And a very important side out for Poland. Crucial part of the 2nd set. Remember, Brazil have already taken control of the first, winning it 21-18. Poland must win this 2nd set to stay in the match. Pedro Solberg, cross court, good angle, good shot. Nice set from Evandro. 2 points clear again, Brazil.
Pedro, one of my favorite players on tour because of his versatility. Such a strong offensive force, such a strong blocker, and he's only 6'4". But imagine a 6'4" player in 2013 voted by his peers as the best blocker in the world. So this guy's got great form and great technique.
Here's Evandro with service for Brazil after the side switch. Fijalek at the net. Oh, and he's showing his blocking skills as well. Pedro Solberg.
Block number 6 for Brazil. This time it's Pedro. And the experiment seems to be working just fine right now as Evandro and Pedro switching off and taking blocks.
What a great dig that was from Fijalek, but again, Pedro Solberg at the net takes Brazil 4 points clear, and they can almost see the light and the pathway through to the final.
Well, he's showing why he was the 2013 best blocker in the world right now. 4 blocks for Pedro, 3 blocks for Evandro, for a total of 7 blocks for Brazil.
Again, it's a great dig from Fijalek, but he's just struggling at the net. The ball drops the Polish side. And Prudel, stays calm, keeps his cool, and scores a vital point for Poland to try and stay in the match.
Both Fijalek and Prudel are such great athletes. They're composed, they wait, that ball rolls off the net, and they know they have an opportunity to put it down. They need to start playing more with a sense of urgency, and they need to do it right now.
Fijalek with that service. Oh, and there's another service error. And when the Polish team study the stats at the end of this match, there will be one that just stands out alone.
7 service errors here in set 2 for Poland.
Pedro Salgado with service. Here comes Fijalek. Over the fingertips, over the top of it. Evandro, that's a very good shot.
Fijalek has great court vision. He makes himself such an offensive weapon at 6'1" by seeing where the defense is and hitting it exactly where they're not.
Prudel with service. Here's Evandro attacking for Brazil at the net. Oh, look at that. Beautiful arm action. Timing and power all on the mark.
They make it look easy when the set is in the right spot. But you can notice if the set's too close or off the net, how quickly an attacker gets in trouble. But Brazil, 9 out of 10 times, are putting it in the perfect spot.
Another great service from Evandro. Here comes Fijalek trying to keep Poland in this set, and the ball is good. The referee gives the point to Poland. Side switch. 3 points clear, Brazil.
What a precise shot by Fijalek right there. Right down the line, perfect position. And he's had a great match so far. The Brazilians have just been stronger at the net.
Side out here for Brazil will give them set and match point. Here comes Pedro Solberg, and they do just that. It is now match point for Brazil. Remember, they took the silver in the Grand Slam in Moscow, and they're well on their way to their second final and a chance to take gold here in Stavanger later today. Pedro Solberg with service. Prudel sets for Fijalek. Oh, great dig, and can Pedro Solberg finish it? It's there! Brazil go through to the final of the Swatch Beach Volleyball Major in Stavanger, Norway. 2-0 against the Polish #2 seeds. Another great display from the Brazilian duo, and they march on to this afternoon's finals.
Nice little poke shot, deep in the corner, over the block and over Fijalek in the backcourt. Look at that, that's the cobra, we call it. At the fingertips, he hits that ball, not with his knuckles, but the ends of his fingers. We haven't seen a shot like that, but very deceptive right there. And they win this one in intimidating fashion.
Dane, you tipped them from the start of play this morning, not only to win their semi-final, which we see they have done so in great style. You've tipped them to go all the way to the gold medal, and